What if the entire purpose of independent political commentary on social media was to disenfranchise normal, rational, otherwise interesting people from paying attention to politics the majority of the time, only to use their existing connections to social media accounts as a de facto lead generation platform at crucial times like when people need to vote? And then in that connective time span between the national elections and the midterms, political commentators and social media creators act as sort of like a decentralized mainstream media that serves the same purpose as the main broadcast channels did in yesteryear, but are propagandized and lobbied in the exact same way, and then delivered in a seemingly organic way through the faces and homes of seemingly normal average people. But the creators that get elevated the most get the access and get the interviews and get the hot scoops and the stories and the features on the respective channels are the ones that have been successfully lobbied and or paid to deliver propaganda in their own natural organic way, so long as it fits a specific set of guidelines that are approved of by the party and or factions that they support. And then once you've elevated these independent content creators to a place where this becomes their primary source of income, as well as social status or whatever else, you are able to give and thus take away their access, thus give and take away their cash flow. Many of these people have readjusted and or invested and changed their entire life to fit the potential cash flow opportunity that would be presented to them as a result of all of this access and all of this attention. And then they've essentially been handcuffed to that income so that if it is taken away, that they essentially have no job at all. And or they use that as kind of a golden handcuffs to lobby them to say, well, if you don't say this or do this at this specific time, you don't get the interview, you don't get the invite, you don't get the access to this specific place, you don't get the inside scoop, and you don't get access to the pool of advertisers that will potentially buy advertisements that are also aligned with this theoretical camp. Because that camp will take away the advertising and the access and the dollars and the whatever from those advertisers that advertise on your page in the exact same way that they would do that to the creators. And in an interesting twist of fate, this is almost the exact same way, at least that I can perceive, that they capture and turn politicians. They get seemingly normal people that are able to rile up the average everyday citizen because they're an outsider. They get them in, they get them the access, they get them the cash, they get them the donors, whatever else. But then when it comes crunch time for them to do the 5% of things that are absolutely necessary to that person advancing whatever their agenda is, they say, oh, well, it's great that you did the 95% of things that we like, but if you don't do this last 5%, well, you're not going to get the donors, you're not going to get the access, you're not going to get reelected again. So if you want the social status, if you want the power, if you want the access, if you want to be reelected, now that we've gotten you in a seemingly organic way, well, we could take that away from you if you don't do this thing. It's like making you the most popular kid in school, inviting you to all the parties, getting you to have all your friends there, you make your money there, all your connections are there, and then it's like, oh, well, if you don't, we could just not invite you to the party anymore. So not only do you use your cash, you lose your authority, you lose your social status, you lose everything, so long as you don't push whatever it is that very crucial 5% of things that is necessary for them to advance the bigger agenda. And at least in the case of the social media world, which is probably easier for your average person to digest, let's say somebody has millions of followers and is generating $1 million a year and getting speaking events and getting access and all of these other things. And then they say, oh, well, here we are doing this thing that's controversial. If you don't speak about this thing and or support this thing, you will lose everything. Then you have no cash, no access, which puts those independent people, those creators, ultimately, and politicians all the same way, into a place where it's like, well, are you going to protect your own? Are you going to protect your family? Are you going to protect yourself? Do you care? You care about the country. We've all established that. But do you care enough to talk about this thing that would potentially jeopardize your cash, your access? Causing normal, rational people to otherwise act the same way that somebody that was in the mafia for 15 years might act. It's like, well, I don't want to go against the family. The family gave me everything. This is all my relationship. But will I narc out the family to protect my family? Will I protect myself? These deals that these like former mobsters cut to get out, and then they take the whole pyramid down. That happens all the time. Because what are they doing? They're protecting themselves. They're protecting their own neck, and they're protecting their own family. And that's how they perceive it. And they know that they have that leverage over you, so they just bring you in, boost you up, gas you up, and then they can take it away at any time. And this filthy game causes it to be that there's only a certain amount of people, a certain type of group of people that are willing to do that. So they get those people in. And that's why you see in this connective tissue between the national elections and the midterms or whatever else, you see it start to focus down to a smaller group of people because everybody else that's on the fringe is disenfranchised by it. They see things like this scandal doesn't get solved or this thing that you promised doesn't get resolved or whatever else. And then all those people end up leaving to preserve their mental health or go back to work or just live a normal life because they're frustrated by it. And then the amount of people that are playing in the arena starts to decrease, which means that those people can get the most access, the most gas, the most circulation, the most distribution, and the most cash, which also in turn elevates them. So the next time there's something that really needs to be done, like an election or some other entanglement in some overseas thing or whatever else, that person can be relied upon because, again, you could always pull it away at any time, especially when there's a smaller group of them. Even though it's been decentralized where it used to be 20 players and now it's, let's say, it's 200, the game remains the same. The leverage remains the same. The humanness and the manipulation of these human beings to do whatever it is that you need them to do based on their access, cash, and social status gives you the ultimate leverage. All the while, people look at you as your everyday average person. They see you out at a place or see you out at an event or whatever else, and you're just like one of us. And this whole process in turn causes everyday, normal, rational people that care about America, care about the country, care about politics, want to be involved, care about the future, care about their own children, care about themselves, care about rights, care about the country. It causes them to not pay attention, only to reinvigorate them at the very crucial time in the 1 month or 2 months leading up to a specific thing like a vote, to then say, hey, I know you haven't been paying attention for the last 2 years, but here's the 200 voices that you need to pay attention to that we've already lobbied, propagandized, whatever else. And they're going to tell you how bad the other side is, and you don't want to let them win. And then the cycle repeats, leaving only the sociopath and or narcissistic and or whatever else self-interested group to suck up all the money, all the attention, all the views, all the access, and leaves the normal people to be like, this is a filthy game. I'm going to go live my life. I'm going to go to the beach. I'm going to take care of my family. I'm going to learn things. I'm going to read books. I'm going to enjoy my life. What if that's what was going on? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.